let's move through these pretty quickly. Gianni Storm, what's your hypothesis?
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
Okay, so this
Truth,
year's
lie, or shenanigans? Sorry,
ending.
let me ask you. Truth, lie, or shenanigans?
Oh, sorry. This is a truth and a really cool truth. So this year is ending in a cosmic alignment with Jupiter and Saturn being conjunct in the sky.
Ooh.
So, really quick, if you guys haven't seen it, it happened this past Sunday, December 21st, where this was the first time that happened in, I believe, 20 years where it was visible to actually see the stars align, forming this kind of cute Christmas star that everybody calls it. So this happened visibly in the year 1226 when the cathedral in Notre Dame was being built in Paris. So big cosmic shifts happen with this alignment. So my question to the panel is, do you guys foresee or do you guys believe that there will be some type of cultural or government, since we were talking about it, shift in humanity
Because
with
of the
this
alignment
alignment?
of Jupiter and Saturn.
Jupiter and Saturn. Yeah.
All right, Robbie Rock. I was excited about this topic, by the way.
Yeah, I love natural phenomenon. I love stargazing. If anyone is inspired by it, absolutely wonderful. Whether or not the gravitational pull from these distant celestial objects will have any influence on or direct influence on people's behavior, unlikely. But visually spectacular, and hopefully come out of it a better person if you actually took the time to observe it.
Lizzie Anders.
Okay.
I'm a dreamer. I am a Twilight Zone fanatic, huge fan. Twilight Zone marathon coming next week on New Year's Eve on the Sci-Fi Channel. So I believe that, Rod Serling is in his grave looking at this saying, yes, this is going to impact us on Earth at some point. I'm not quite sure. I thought that this was a beautiful phenomenon that I really regret not being able to see because of the cloud coverage here in Washington, D.C. But the question that I had, and maybe you guys can answer this, there are a lot of flat earthers out there. So do you think the flat earthers looked at the conjunction and thought that it was fake?
That's funny.
Do you think they
I
believed
felt
it?
like they had their own theory about it. Yeah, I feel like they either had their own theory or they did think it. Yeah.
So
Neil?
I thought it was I didn't get to see it, but this is a once in a lifetime thing, right? I mean, it
Yeah. Won't happen
there's
for a
people
very
who've
long time.
never been able to see it, and we've been able to see something they've never been able to see. I mean, I am, you know, as far as me, I can't. The world, the universe is so massive, it's so amazing. Um, I don't know what this universe holds. I don't know what it does. I know you ascribe to some astrology, right? You're an astrology, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I am into astrology and just how the stars and just in general how esoteric the world is. I feel like I was interesting hearing what Rob said that the celestial bodies don't have an impact to us. I don't necessarily. I kind of have a weird opinion, but I don't believe that the planets are actually solid, obvious rock. I think that those are actually reflections. I believe the moon is actually a reflection of the Earth. I know I have kind of weird out there kind of thoughts, and but I have my reasonings. But I do believe that coincidences are really just perfection, solid, like consolidated. So I think that it's not ironic that when this placement took place, that people viewed it at that time, dynasties were ending, and new ones were emerging. So I think that there is a funny coincidence there, but yeah.
I'm one of those people who I believe that anything is possible. Like we can't possibly understand this universe completely. We can't possibly understand every aspect of it. We don't understand, small things. We don't even understand time and how time works, time and space work. So for us to be able to say, it's tough to be able to say what effects they do have. I mean, if you think of gravity alone, the force of gravity, the only reason we look the way, one of the main reasons we look and we stand upright and do all these things is because of gravity. It had a direct effect on who we are, what we look at, what we look like, time, space, all these things have effect. So this conjunction, certainly the gravitational pulls and everything else, even the moon has a direct effect on how we were formed, how we became who we are. Um, it affects our psyche, the sun, the movement of the sun. All of these things affect us directly, and it's been proven scientifically that these things directly affect us biologically. So, could it affect? Could it have affected us? Probably. It may be more minute than say the sun and the moon because they're more direct or have a more direct. But I don't know. This universe is an amazing universe, so I can certainly subscribe. I can accept, the possibilities.
Yeah. Well,
I think a lot.
Saturn rules government, and Jupiter rules expansion and knowledge. So it's like when those are aligned, I guess they're trying to say basically the government that we're under is ultimately obviously coming apart, and a new one is kind of coming through. Sorry, Liz, go ahead.
Go ahead, Lizzie.
No, no, no. I was just gonna say, I think a lot of if you are a traveler and you talk to people in other countries, this idea or this skepticism of the solar system, of the sun, of the moon, of other planets, of other orbits, in my opinion, is really a Western world thing, specifically an American thing. You go to a lot of other countries and they are very respectful of the solar system. They're very respectful of the idea of silence to the point where some of them worship it. Whereas here, there's always a conspiracy theory, or there's this science versus religion. Not that, and even though I'm not very religious, but the idea that they can mesh is offensive to some people. But like Mike Winter said, we have the Air and Space Museum here in Washington, D.C. I grew up in the Air and Space Museum. My mom used to work there. And so I challenge anyone who is skeptical about this, come on to DC post-COVID. We will give you a tour.
Air Space Museum is an amazing museum. It's the most.
My God, it's beautiful,
Yep.
but also it's amazing.
It's the most visited museum in the world.
And like I said, the Twilight Zone Marathon comes on next week. Watch it, y'all. Watch it. It's great.
All right. That was a great topic, Gianni Storm. We do have some comments online. Apparently, Kevin Thaxton says NASA is fake. Just kidding. Gary Winter was asking, is it astrology or astronomy that you're into, Gianni?
Kevin Thaxton.
Astrology, not the science. Astronomy is more of a scientific.
Astrology, Gianni. Astrology, Gianni. My one of my besties, she's always quoting or telling me that I'm in retrograde. Always. And so for that, I'm just like, can I just be in a foul mood? Like, I don't know if it's retrograde.
Retrograde means stuff.
So I'm in a foul mood just because.
Jose says we need a shift in humanity, and then Kevin Thaxton says aliens that'll open up a wormhole from Altron 7 Beta.
Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, those are great hot topics, guys. Great hot topics. All right.
Perfect ending, yo. Perfect ending.
All right, let's get on.